DEATHWORLDERS' outrageous combat strategies have the Galactic Council in laughter. In the far reaches of the cosmos, where stars twinkled like distant diamonds against the backdrop of infinite darkness, the Galactic Council convened in their opulent chamber aboard the majestic flagship, Celestial Concord. Representatives from countless worlds gathered, each one embodying the pinnacle of civilization. They convened to discuss the alarming rise of the DEATHWORLDERS, a faction notorious for their unorthodox and often absurd battle tactics. As the holographic images of various DEATHWORLDERS flickered to life, the council members leaned in with curiosity and a hint of trepidation. Among them, Commander Zalara of the Viridian Empire, a warrior renowned for her tactical genius, struggled to suppress a laugh. She had encountered DEATHWORLDERS in skirmishes before, and their antics were a source of both annoyance and amusement. "Look at this one," she said, gesturing toward the hologram of a burly DEATHWORLDER named Brack. His wild mane of hair swayed as he brandished an oversized weapon that looked more like a piece of furniture than a tool of war. He calls that his Giga Bazooka, claiming it can obliterate anything in a 100-meter radius. But last week, he used it to, what was it? Cook a meal for his team. Laughter erupted around the chamber, echoing against the ornate walls. The Supreme Chancellor, a dignified figure draped in a flowing robe of shimmering stardust, raised a hand to restore order. "Let us not underestimate them. Their unpredictability is their greatest strength, but we must find a way to address their rising influence." As the discussions continued, another hologram activated, showcasing a DEATHWORLDER team performing an elaborate dance routine before engaging in combat. They twirled and leaped, wielding their weapons with flair rather than precision. The council watched in disbelief as the DEATHWORLDERS seamlessly transitioned from their ridiculous choreography to a surprising display of tactical maneuvers, using their environment in ways no one had anticipated. "See, they blend chaos and strategy in ways we never considered," murmured Elian, the representative from the technologically advanced Zenthari. "What they lack in conventional tactics, they make up for with creativity." Despite their laughter, a sense of unease settled over the council. The DEATHWORLDERS, with their outlandish methods, were gaining notoriety across the galaxy. They had become a symbol of rebellion against traditional warfare, drawing followers from various worlds, all eager to embrace the absurdity. As the meeting progressed, Commander Zalara's mind raced. Perhaps there was more to the DEATHWORLDERS than mere folly. Could their outrageous tactics offer fresh perspectives on warfare? She envisioned a potential alliance and unorthodox partnership that could turn the tide of galactic conflicts. Just then, an alert blared through the chamber, pulling everyone's attention to a holographic map of the galaxy. A red blip blinked ominously, indicating a DEATHWORLDER fleet rapidly approaching a nearby star system. The council members exchanged concerned glances, their earlier laughter replaced with a dawning realization. "Looks like it's time to see if their strategies work in practice," Zalara declared, a spark of excitement igniting within her. "Let's prepare for the unexpected." As the council set into motion, a new chapter of intergalactic relations was about to unfold, one where laughter, chaos, and creativity could redefine the very nature of warfare. Little did they know, the DEATHWORLDERS were ready to turn the galaxy upside down in ways they could never imagine. And so, the stage was set for an extraordinary encounter, where combat would intertwine with comedy, and the fate of many would rest in the hands of those who dared to be different. As the Galactic Council scrambled into action, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. The red blip representing the DEATHWORLDER fleet grew larger on the holographic map, and it was clear that they were not coming for a diplomatic visit. Zalara gathered her team, each member a mix of seasoned warriors and brilliant tacticians, and prepared to face the unexpected. Meanwhile, aboard the flagship of the DEATHWORLDER fleet, Captain Brack and his crew were buzzing with excitement. They had heard rumors of the Galactic Council's deliberations, and now they were ready to showcase their unique combat style in a real confrontation. "Prepare the Giga Bazooka," Brack roared, his laughter contagious. "And don't forget the confetti. If we're going to crash their party, let's make it memorable." As the DEATHWORLDERS approached the star system, they launched a series of bizarre yet strategic maneuvers. Instead of a traditional formation, their ships danced across the stars, creating a dazzling light show that bewildered nearby observers. The Galactic Council watched in disbelief as the DEATHWORLDER ships swirled and twirled, leading their opponents into a trap. "Are they performing?" Elian asked, incredulous. "Looks like it," Zalara replied, a mix of amusement and concern in her voice. "But we can't underestimate them. We need to formulate a counter-strategy." The DEATHWORLDER ships closed in on the outpost of the Galactic Council, and as they did, they unleashed a barrage of unconventional weapons. Instead of lasers and missiles, they launched sticky goo that ensnared enemy ships and transformed the battlefield into a chaotic playground. At first, the Galactic defenders were caught off guard, slipping and sliding as they tried to regain control. "Deploy the countermeasures," Zalara shouted, and her team sprang into action, attempting to adapt to the madness unfolding before them. But the DEATHWORLDER tactics were unpredictable, shifting from slapstick comedy to serious combat with alarming speed. Just when it seemed like the Galactic defenders were regaining their footing, the DEATHWORLDER fleet executed a synchronized dance that culminated in a spectacular explosion of fireworks, momentarily blinding their enemies. Amidst the chaos, Brack bellowed, "Now, for the final act." He pressed a button on his console, and the Giga Bazooka fired, not a deadly projectile, but an enormous wave of colorful foam that engulfed several galactic ships, rendering them immobile and covered in a sticky layer of laughter-inducing substance. Zalara's forces couldn't help but burst into laughter despite themselves. "What is happening?" one of her officers exclaimed between fits of giggles. Realizing the power of the DEATHWORLDERs' tactics lay not just in their absurdity, but in their ability to disrupt traditional combat dynamics, Zalara felt a spark of inspiration. "We need to turn this into an opportunity," she announced. "Let's use their tactics to our advantage." With newfound determination, Zalara quickly devised a plan. "We'll mimic their tactics, but with our own strategic twist. Let's turn their chaos into controlled creativity." As her team rallied around the idea, they began to implement Zalara's strategy. Instead of resisting the DEATHWORLDERs' antics, they embraced the absurdity. Launching their own comedic countermeasures, they deployed holographic decoys that performed silly dances, confusing the DEATHWORLDER forces. Brack, witnessing this unexpected turn, couldn't help but laugh. "Well, they're joining the party. Let's see how they dance." The battlefield transformed into a spectacle of light and movement, with both sides blending humor and warfare. It was a dance-off in the stars, each side trying to outdo the other with outrageous performances and unconventional tactics. As the clash continued, Zalara and Brack found themselves in an unexpected duel, one that was as much about strategy as it was about creativity. In a moment of mutual respect, they paused, both realizing that they were not just adversaries but pioneers in a new form of warfare. "How about we call a truce?" Zalara proposed, a grin forming on her face. "Let's show the galaxy what we can do together." Brack laughed heartily. "I'm in. Let's make this a show they'll never forget." And so, amid the laughter and chaos, a new alliance was born. The Galactic Council and the DEATHWORLDERs would redefine the nature of conflict, blending combat with creativity in ways that would echo through the stars for generations to come. The universe held its breath, ready to witness the outrageous and the extraordinary as the stage was set for an epic collaboration, where the line between war and celebration blurred, and a new era of galactic relations began. With their newfound alliance, Commander Zalara and Captain Brack gathered their forces to strategize the next steps. They realized that if they combined their unique strengths, they could create a formidable coalition that could challenge any threat to peace in the galaxy. "First things first," Zalara said, addressing both her team and Brack's crew. "We need to train together. We can learn from each other's tactics how to blend order with chaos." Brack nodded enthusiastically. "And let's not forget to keep the fun alive. If we can't laugh while we fight, then what's the point?" Over the next few weeks, the two groups engaged in joint training sessions that were anything but conventional. They practiced outrageous maneuvers, mixing serious combat drills with spontaneous dance-offs and comedic skits. They learned to think outside the box, using humor as a weapon to disarm their enemies both physically and psychologically. Word of their antics spread throughout the galaxy, and soon, other factions began to take notice. Some found the DEATHWORLDERs' style ridiculous, while others were intrigued by the effectiveness of their unconventional methods. A small group of curious beings from various worlds, intrigued by the DEATHWORLDERs' reputation, approached Zalara and Brack with a proposal to join their coalition. As they gathered for a meeting, representatives from different planets shared their stories and grievances against a common foe, the ruthless warlord known as Zarlan, who sought to conquer and subjugate worlds through sheer force. His methods were brutal, and his army was feared throughout the galaxy. "We have to stop Zarlan before he strikes again," Zalara said, her voice firm, "but we need a plan that incorporates both our strengths and our creativity." Brack leaned forward, his eyes twinkling with mischief. What if we set a trap? We can lure Zarlan's forces into an area where we can use our tactics to their fullest. We'll combine our skills to create chaos and confusion, all while having a bit of fun." The representatives murmured in agreement, excitement building as they discussed how to implement Brack's idea. They devised a plan that involved a mix of traditional warfare and DEATHWORLDER-style unpredictability. On the day of the operation, the coalition set up an elaborate stage in the asteroid belt near Zarlan's base. They created the illusion of a weak point, drawing in Zarlan's forces like moths to a flame. As the enemy approached, they triggered a series of traps that sent bursts of colorful smoke and confetti into the air, momentarily blinding and bewildering the attackers. "Now!" Zalara shouted, and the coalition sprang into action, blending combat with theatrical flair. DEATHWORLDERS danced through the chaos, tossing sticky bombs and performing acrobatics that confused their enemies. Zalara's forces executed tactical maneuvers that turned the confusion to their advantage, striking swiftly and decisively. Just when it seemed that victory was within reach, Zarlan himself appeared on the battlefield, a hulking figure clad in dark armor. "You think your tricks can defeat me?" he bellowed, a sneer on his face. "I will crush you all." But the coalition was ready. As Zarlan charged forward, Brack launched the Giga Bazooka, not with deadly intent but with an enormous stream of glittering foam that engulfed Zarlan, rendering him immobile and covered in sparkling colors. "Looks like he's having a tough time," one of the DEATHWORLDERS shouted, and laughter erupted across the battlefield. In that moment, Zalara seized the opportunity. "Now, together, let's finish this." The coalition rallied, combining their skills in a synchronized attack that disarmed Zarlan's forces. With a final push, they overwhelmed the warlord's army, sending them retreating in panic and confusion. As the dust settled and the laughter echoed through the asteroid belt, the coalition members celebrated their victory. They had not only defeated a formidable enemy but had also established a new way of approaching warfare, one that embraced creativity, unity, and joy. With Zarlan's forces scattered, the coalition solidified their alliance, vowing to continue their work together, using laughter and ingenuity as their weapons. News of their victory spread throughout the galaxy, inspiring other worlds to consider new ways to resolve conflicts. And so, what began as a series of outrageous tactics evolved into a movement that transformed the very fabric of intergalactic relations. The Galactic Council and the DEATHWORLDERS showed the universe that when creativity meets courage, even the most absurd ideas can lead to extraordinary outcomes. As they looked to the stars, Zalara and Brack knew their journey was just beginning. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, one laugh, one dance, and one outrageous tactic at a time. The galaxy would never be the same again. After their resounding victory over Zarlan, the coalition of DEATHWORLDERS and the Galactic Council flourished. They became known as the Galactic Jokers, a force to be reckoned with, blending laughter and strategy to create an unorthodox yet effective approach to peacekeeping. As they celebrated their success, a new challenge arose. Rumors spread of a greater threat looming beyond the known galaxies, a mysterious and powerful entity known only as the Void. This force consumed entire star systems, leaving nothing but darkness in its wake. Determined to protect the galaxy, Zalara and Brack gathered their coalition for an urgent meeting. "The Void threatens everything we've built," Zalara said, her tone serious. "We need to confront it, but we can't face it alone." Brack nodded, his usual cheerfulness tempered by the gravity of the situation. "Let's reach out to our allies across the galaxy. We need to unite against this threat, and we'll use our creativity to devise a plan." The coalition sent out messages, calling upon worlds far and wide to join their cause. To their surprise, many responded, eager to stand together against the impending darkness. They formed an unprecedented alliance, a blend of species and cultures united by a shared goal. As they prepared for the confrontation, the coalition devised a plan that mixed strategy with their signature flair. They would create a series of distractions to lure the Void's attention away from innocent worlds. With laughter as their weapon, they would showcase their unity and creativity, transforming fear into hope. The day of the confrontation arrived. The coalition gathered on the edge of a star system threatened by the Void. Zalara stood at the forefront, her heart pounding with determination. "Remember, we are more than just fighters, we are creators. Let's show the Void the power of our alliance." As the Void approached, the coalition launched their plan. They sent out holographic displays that filled the Void with colors and sounds, crafting an illusion of festivity and joy. Amidst the chaos, they executed their maneuvers, weaving in and out of the void's reach, keeping its attention diverted. But the entity was relentless, and as it drew closer, the coalition found themselves on the brink of despair. Just then, Brack shouted, "We need to up the ante. Let's hit it with everything we've got." They launched their most outrageous tactics yet: foam bombs, glitter blasts, and even holographic creatures dancing around the void. The unexpected chaos momentarily confused the entity, disrupting its advance. Zalara seized the moment. Now! Together! With a synchronized effort, the coalition unleashed a final barrage of their combined creativity. In a blinding explosion of color and light, they poured their hope and laughter into the attack. To their astonishment, the void began to dissipate, unraveling in the face of their unity and joy. It was as if laughter itself had become a shield, pushing back the darkness. The coalition stood together, watching as the entity shrank away, leaving behind a vibrant star system once more. As the dust settled, the coalition erupted into cheers, their victory echoing across the stars. They had faced a darkness greater than any of them had known and emerged stronger together. In the aftermath, Zalara and Brack reflected on their journey. "We've shown the galaxy that laughter can be a powerful weapon," Zalara said, her eyes shining with pride. "And that together, we can face anything," Brack added, his characteristic grin returning. From that day forward, the Galactic Jokers became legendary, a symbol of hope and resilience. They traveled the galaxy, spreading joy and creativity, uniting worlds, and proving that even in the darkest times, laughter could light the way. And so, the story of the DEATHWORLDERS and their allies came to a triumphant end, but their legacy of laughter, courage, and unity would resonate throughout the galaxy for generations to come.